Well, I did mention that after the break, we shall be heading to our SMB Insight, out of which the SMB Insight today is basically looking at the ICT performance in Uganda. And pretty much it is an improvement in service delivery, despite the fact that the internet charges and internet connectivity across the rural areas in the country are still making it quite difficult for some to at least access the ICT devices or as well. And also looking at the fact that the ICT infrastructure is being put in place to enable the development of ICT in Uganda. Then also, on the other hand, the innovators in the ICT sector are continuing to grow within the country, and it's actually giving room for employment opportunities for the young generation or for the young people who are basically looking at the ICT as the best journey to at least head out of poverty. Now, when you look at the overall performance of the ICT sector as well, there is something regarding the high data costs, which is locking most of the Ugandans out of the digital economy, and especially those Ugandans who want to at least tap into the digital era of doing things, whereby we are only setting up businesses that run online, functioning online, communication tools and all that. But then there are also bigger questions where one would say, can Uganda's tech compete with that of Kenya? Because the rate at which the technology levels of Kenyans are evolving is quite different from ours. The innovation speed and at the level at which the people in Kenya are adopting to the use of the digital economy is quite faster than ours here in Uganda. But of course, the future of ICT in Uganda can definitely not go without being noticed, because we do believe it is of huge advantage that it should as well add on to our sector here in the country. And that is, as a matter of fact, when you look at the fact that some of the other sectors are being improved because of ICT, looking at the service delivery, the Ugandans now adopting to the use of digital tools, ICT devices, or you can as well look at how most of the people are coming up to at least transition from the local way of doing things to turning to the digital, or you could say from the manual perspective to the digital transformation of doing things. And all this is aiding the ICT sector in the country and ICT sector performance in Uganda, if I am to put it in that same way. Now, when you look at some of the factors that have affected the efficiency of ICT here, there are various of those, which as well include the incentives of investment in the ICT sector in Uganda. There's something to do with the issue to do with the access of ICT devices to Ugandans. Some of the Ugandans cannot afford these devices, apparently. But then not only that, you can as well realize that some other issues regarding ICT goes back to the fact that when you look at the rural setting, or those who are best in up country, some of them are actually still facing some huge issues in regards to their path, to how the ICT is performing. But also, we have more to speak about the education sector now. In Uganda, the education is now changing channels. Most people are now looking at the ICT sector as one of those that can actually shape up the next generation. Schools are adopting to the ICT and setting up facilities, for example, computer labs, bringing up to speed with ICT information and the different trends within the world of innovation to ensure that the young school-going children can as well tap into the ICT sector in Uganda as well. So if we are to look at that kind of situation, it is something that you could see. And of course, the ICT sector was allocated 0.3% of the national budget. That was according to the financial year of 2021 to 2022. The ICT sector was allocated 0.3% of the Ugandan shillings, that is 134.9 billion of that budget. That was of the financial year 2021 to 2022, which ended June 30th, 2022. But now with this particular insight, we dig deeper in the ICT sector's performance in the country.
At the extension of the national backbone infrastructure, which is still continuing countrywide, we facilitated innovators and innovation hubs with grants under the National ICT Initiative Support Program, NISIP. In this regard, a number of systems have been developed and are being used by government, like e-government, the Parish Development Model Information Management Information System, the ORBS, then Education Management Information System, and others. We have established ICT infrastructure in selected schools. We are scaling up agency banking with commercial banks to offer agency banking and financial services at every postal outlet. Posts has partnered with the Safe Border to improve service delivery. We are developing, obviously, the business processing, outsourcing, and innovations, and this is being spearheaded by the BPO Council, which has been put in place, and now we are developing a BPO policy. The Parish Development Model Management Information System was developed and has been rolled out to the whole country, and this information system is very, very crucial to the success of Parish Development Model. But so far we have profiled only 48% of households, and as you are aware, if you look at the guidelines, people can't access money unless they have been profiled. So we are still looking for around 8.5 billion to have every household profile. But so far, the system has started working and money is being dispersed to those who are so far profiled, because so far we have a Department of National Guidance but no policy. So it is very hard even to access money from Ministry of Finance. The policy is about to be, drafting of the policy is about to be completed. We have built strong partnerships and coordination with the various stakeholders of the digital transformation program that include MDAs, private sector, development partners, and civil society. Given that the majority of the population is the youth, and engaging the innovation ecosystem, we have supported innovators through the innovation hubs, various partnerships with development partners and the private sector. But the money which was allocated to us to spearhead this were allocated, I think, about 12 billion this financial year. Ministry of Finance has so far only released 1 billion. So we are lagging behind in terms of implementing this. And other achievements, the transfer of assets and liabilities of the old UTL, or Uganda Telecom Limited, to the new Uganda Telecommunications Corporation Limited, where all digital infrastructure is being to be managed. Honourable members, I would like to inform you that now a new company has been formed, and this is Uganda Telecommunications Corporation Limited, and it is taking up all the assets and liabilities of the old UTL. And it has two shareholders, Ministry of Finance, which holds 60% shares, and Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, which holds 40% shares. And we have already put in place an interim board to complete the transition, because it was under receivership, but eventually we thought that we should not dispose it out of. We should instead form another company, and then we take up all the assets and liabilities, including, obviously, compensating our other partners, the Libyans. So now we own this new company, and all ICT digital infrastructure will be transferred to that company.
You mean like the NBI and other things?
Yes, yes, eventually, but not now. It is a long process. It will be a long transition. Yes, but the NBI will still be managed by NITAU till we reach such a point that. But we want all the infrastructure to be in one, because NITAU is a regulator, so it cannot again compete in the market. It can't be again a service provider. But eventually we are going to do that. We are also trying to improve visibility of government programs through various communication channels like talk shows, social media engagements, and the press. And we have done it very well. That's why you meet, because of that stress, we can even get blackouts once in a while, because we are answering so many questions at a go. And Chair, our main priorities this year is one, to implement the last mile rollout and the connectivity broadband infrastructure. Now, after we've completed the NBI, we want now to distribute the internet. That's what we are calling the last mile, so that internet can reach parishes. Because right now, the parish development management information system can't work without internet. So we want internet to reach everywhere, even in areas where other service providers can't go. For us as government, we want to reach there. And then another priority is connecting all essential service centers to the national backbone, such as schools, hospitals, tourist sites, police, and local government. At one time, someone was asking why we are putting internet and telephone in national parks, whether animals also own phones, but we put them there because of tourism. We are promoting tourism. Those tourists who go to those national parks, first of all, must be hooked to internet, and they must communicate. And if there is any problem, we should respond immediately. So we are not putting those facilities there for animals, but for people who go to see animals. And we are going to support the rollout and the integration of e-service, such as the extension of e-education, e-health, as well as promoting collaborative solutions for digital transformation. And e-procurement is one of our top priorities, because we feel if we develop a very strong e-procurement system, then even these issues of corruption will end. And if you can remember, the IGG presented, we are losing around 3 trillion in corruption. But if you have a strong system where even MPs can monitor on their dashboards, then we want to go into preventive measures, not post-mortem all the time. You must monitor what is going on in the procurement system, and that's why we need money to complete all these systems. We are going to develop and commercialize all local ICT products and build critical mass of talent development, applications and services. There are so many innovations which have come up, but we have not yet commercialized them, so they are still at local level. We must commercialize them and start selling them out. We shouldn't keep going to India and other countries to buy systems, yet we can develop them here. We are creating employment opportunities by leveraging on business processing outsourcing, and then we are going to ensure we extend the scope of parish development management information system and roll it out. And we are going to strengthen communication of government programs and national guidance outreaches. We have critical financing gaps, Mr. Chair, like the Directorate of National Guidance, the Directorate of Information and National Guidance was not provided with any operation funds under the Community Mobilization and Mindset Program. Chair, our sector, we have a program which is not in, where we are not in full control. For us, we control the digital transformation program, but the communication and mindset change program is under Ministry of Gender and Labor. So for us now as a ministry, we are not provided with any money, operation money for communication and mindset change. Even the salary which was given to that department still has a gap of around 30%. So even the workers in that directorate may not be fully paid for the whole year if we don't get more money. And yet we are government communicators, but we are communicators now without any funding. There will be no media buying, and mindset change, we shan't operate. So that's why we have come here to say we need your support.
Come in.
All right, and of course, we are having what is coming in from the SMB Insight on matters regarding the ICT performance and what it is likely to be heading into in the next financial year. That is what our insight was basically highlighting. Now, on to the story preview as the Business Today returns tonight. We do have Ronan Ahaba joining us on set to give us more of an update on what is making grounds within the world of business and what you should be expecting in tonight's bulletin at 9 p.m. Welcome on board, Rona.
Good morning.
Yes,
How are
morning.
you?
How are you today?
Yes.
So, what should the viewers expect and what is making grounds across the business world in the country?
So what people should expect today for business today is that electric mobility investment. Recently, Kira Motors announced that it needs $2 billion US.
Okay.
That's about 72% from private investors, both regional and international, to fund their e-mobility investment. They recently also announced that they need 30,000 components for electric, to move the electric mobility investment.
Oh, okay.
And I'm very happy that the president himself, during the media briefing that he had before we broke off for holidays last year, he was moving this notion of mobility, and he had started from electric borders.
Okay.
So that way we'll be able to, revise the means on how we are spending so much on fuel and how they are coming through and how much we're spending a lot of tax on fuel to electric mobility. But the question is, can Uganda afford? Can Kira Motors get these investments?
Okay.
How do they plan to source for these investors?
Yeah, I do understand as well, because we'll need to at least ask all these questions to know where is the money going to be coming in from and how they intend to use the money and in what way will the money be helpful to the you did mention the electric mobility sector in the country. So what else should the people expect from the same report?
They should also expect the move and why the move for the electric mobility investment in Uganda. Why should we be interested that we're going to use electric buses? Does Uganda have ports or charging ports? I recently saw the CEO of Kira Motors advocating for charging points when they were launching their first green electric car in Munyonyo last year. So does Uganda have the capacity? I really want to know, I really want to inform from what I gather to the public, what capacity do we have to move?
And if you were to give us on a scale of what is likely to be invested in this particular move by Kira Motors as they are trying to shape up for electric mobility in the country?
Well, I do know that they expect 72% from the private investors. So you can do the math from 100 to 72. That is less compared to what they need for the electric mobility to go on. They need a lot of funds. That is to say, they really need a lot of funds to move because they are contributing the list, and it is understandable since it's a Ugandan company, and of course we wouldn't expect them to have that much of funds. And I'm really hoping that they get support from government. And I'm optimistic that the president maybe would come up and say, okay, we've donated this much, since he's also a mover of this, initiative of electric mobility.
Okay, and of course you will be definitely getting more of those particular updates from Business Today, with Ronan Ahaba giving you more updates from what Kira Motors is likely to have and which move is coming in from the electric mobility sector in Uganda. As of Smart Means Business, we do return immediately after the break with Barige Andrew, who is on ground to give us more updates from the CBD.